What's up, everybody? If you guys don't know me, my name is Justin. Today I'll be talking to you guys about sphagnum moss. Sphagnum moss is a super important plant. It's actually a keystone species, in bog ecosystems. It stores massive amounts of carbon, and it's even been used as human dressing for wounds. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. So the common name for sphagnum moss is actually just what everyone calls it, but it's not really just one species. There's over 300 different species worldwide. So sphagnum moss thrives in wetlands, especially bogs and peatlands, across the northern hemisphere and even in some tropical mountains. These mosses prefer acidic, waterlogged soils where most plants can't survive. By holding onto water like sponges, they actually create and maintain bog ecosystems. Without sphagnum, we would not have bogs. Up close, sphagnum moss looks like tiny star-shaped clusters of leaves. I actually have a bucket of some right here, and I'll get into why I have a bucket of moss as we go farther, but if you look pretty close there, I'll zoom a little bit, but it's tiny star-like clusters of leaves, and what's unique is that their cells contain special structures called hyaline cells, which are empty chambers that can absorb water up to 20 times the dry weight. That's why sphagnum mats feel so squishy and wet. Sphagnum is a powerhouse ecosystem engineer, and by acidifying its environment and locking up nutrients, it slows decomposition and allows peat to get produced and built up over thousands of years. Peatlands only cover about 3% of Earth's land, but store over 30% of our global soil carbon, which is more than all the world's forests combined. Without sphagnum moss, peatlands and this massive carbon sink that they create would not exist. Humans have found plenty of uses for sphagnum moss. Indigenous people used it as wound dressing, due to its absorbent and naturally antiseptic behaviors. In World War I, soldiers often padded their bandages with sphagnum as well, just dried sphagnum to really hold everything in there. But today it's also widely used in horticulture to retain soil moisture in gardens and greenhouses, as well as in the pet trade for different tropical animals. So for example, I have a tortoise. I'll put up a little video here of him. He loves this moss because it's really good at keeping in the heat that he gets from the light during the day, so that at night he doesn't get too cold. It also holds moisture really well, so he gets more of a humid environment that he's used to in the forest, tropical Central South America, where he's from. Originally a species, but it's very popular usage. You can get it at most stores. I got this one, I think, at Petco, but if Home Depot, Lowe's, anywhere. It's also really good for mulch, for holding in that moisture on plants as well. But sphagnum moss and the bogs it builds are unfortunately really threatened right now. Peat moss harvesting for gardening and fuel releases the stored carbon back into the atmosphere. Drainage for agriculture dries out the bogs, turning them from carbon sinks into carbon sources. Conservationists are now working to protect peatlands, restore drained bogs, and promote sustainable sphagnum farming. So something interesting about the sphagnum moss is how it reproduces. It actually reproduces in two different ways. So it reproduces sexually through spores. Main green moss is the gametophyte, the haploid, which produces the sperm and the eggs. And then the sperm needs water to swim to the eggs. The fertilization makes a sporophyte that grows on the moss. The sporophyte forms a capsule that explosively releases spores, and the spores grow into a new moss. The asexual way is just fragmentation. A broken piece of moss can grow into an entirely new plant in wet conditions. But unfortunately, like I said before, without sphagnum moss, bog ecosystems collapse. Also, for the carbon in the world, it's a really, really important plant that a lot of people might overlook because it is a moss, but we have it in all the swamps down here, basically anywhere in the northern hemisphere, like I said before. Yeah, let me see. Another close-up of the moss. It's really good at holding a lot of water. I like to soak it before I give it to my tortoise, because then it's extra humid for him. He seems like that a lot. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. Yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you guys next time.